Diddy and Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy.
Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
Steve Harvey. I hear y'all take vacations together on the yacht or something.
Well, we get on the boat with Magic and Cookie. Steve and Marjorie have their own boat. When I came to Chicago and I was doing negotiator, Bernie took care of me.
So, you know how we usually think all those big shots in showbiz are tight buddies because they're loaded and have similar careers? Well, Samuel L. Jackson and Steve Harvey might be proving that wrong. You'd expect them to be best being successful and in the spotlight, right? But hold up. Rumor has it that Samuel and Steve aren't exactly besties. And it's not just about Steve's mustache or Samuel's funny side. Apparently, there's some serious tension, and the grapevine is saying Samuel L. Jackson might spill some crazy stuff about how Steve Harvey supposedly pimped out Lori to Diddy. Yeah, that's some wild gossip.
See, the thing about Diddy, he didn't make a big splash about it. He just kept pressing him. He put up a lot of his own money for this.
Now, we all know Samuel can crack a joke, but this time he's dead serious. Word on the street suggests there might be some serious dirt hiding in Steve's closet that only the insiders know about. And you know Steve Harvey, he's not one to take shade lightly. If Samuel is really gearing up to spill some truths, it could ignite a massive celebrity feud. Everyone's dying to know, what's Steve Harvey hiding in that closet that's got Samuel Jackson on the verge of calling him out?
And been in there about an hour, changing radio stations and TV stations every 8 minutes or whatever. He just caught me.
So, we all know Steve Harvey's blown up big time with his comedy and daytime talk shows, right? But here's the plot twist. Not everyone's jumping on the Steve Harvey fan train, and guess who's not buying into the hype? Samuel L. Jackson. Now, you'd think there'd be a solid camaraderie among black celebs in the entertainment biz, right? Like Samuel and the late Bernie Mac, or Steve and Martin Lawrence. But hold up, because the Harvey-Jackson dynamic is a whole different story. It's like one of those situations where one person just doesn't click with the other, and the other's a bit wary.
Or take the praise for what it is, or understand that, okay, if I do this, it's gonna be more trouble than it's worth.
That's right.
You know, so a moment of instant gratification.
These past days, even weeks, have been some of the darkest in the entertainment biz. Bad news has been hitting from all angles, involving some big-name celebs. Some of it's just bad, while other stuff borders on downright inhumane. But there's one celeb who seems to consistently find themselves in the less-than-human category, and that's rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The guy's already been tangled up in a bunch of dark headlines, and now he's back in the spotlight with yet another messy situation involving one of his exes.
As I'm so quiet, there's been so many stories that have been made up about me. Like I've seen stories about me being like fully in love with somebody and we had like this whole relationship.
But hold on to your seats because this is no ordinary ex. We're talking about Harvey, daughter of yet another controversial celeb. And it seems her old man might have struck some shady deals with Diddy in the past, which ended up with Lori right by the rapper's side. Now, I know this whole topic might be touchy for a lot of folks, but seriously, did anyone think it was normal for Diddy to hook up with someone who just split from his own son? Most folks would flag that as pretty darn weird. Well, it looks like we might finally be getting an explanation for that bizarre family exchange we've all been scratching our heads about. Word on the street is Lori might have become Diddy's way of settling some debts. Not her dad's, but hers. She's drop-dead gorgeous and has been linked with more than a handful of successful folks. But it seems Diddy might not have been her first pick for a partner. Their hookup seems to stem from a place of settling scores, not love, which can be a business between the both celebrities. Well, it does not seem to be weird as Cat Williams has bulk to talk about how he actually came to rise. Cat's revelation about his former idol may come as a surprise to some, but the subsequent disclosure is even more startling. He claims that Steve Harvey, a beloved figure for many, has allegedly entered into a pact involving his soul with Hollywood.
I think Steve Harvey's some stand-up man. No, he kissed his old girl who owned TV One. He used to kiss her. That's how he had the rating.
Certainly, Cat Williams is widely acknowledged as one of the most humorous comics of his generation, celebrated for his unfiltered wit and dynamic performances in successful stand-up specials. Despite his talent and recognition among Hollywood's comedy elite, Williams has not achieved the same level of mainstream exposure as some of his peers. A supporter pointed out, unlike Kevin Hart, he hasn't embraced leading roles in blockbuster movies, and he doesn't host a show like Steve Harvey. At times, Williams has expressed a sense of hopelessness, even announcing, "I'm I'm just gonna go ahead and announce my retirement from stand-up. I'm kinda done. I've already discussed it with my kids. I wasn't really gonna do it on a Seattle street. I was going to Los Angeles and do it in the offices of ICM or Live Nation. Persistent rumors have circulated, suggesting that Williams had been blacklisted from the industry, sparking questions about why he hadn't achieved the same level of success as figures like Steve Harvey. It's worth noting that Williams and Harvey have had a strained relationship for over a decade, hinting at a significant reason behind their ongoing discord.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, Frankie, I didn't know nothing about this concept. When the promoter told me about it in October, I shot it down. Because that ain't how I've ever promoted a show.
To trace the origins of their feud, we need to go back to December 2008 when Cat Williams openly criticized Steve Harvey before a Christmas season show. This incident marked the beginning of their conflict, which has persisted for over a decade. It's essential to acknowledge that both Cat Williams and Steve Harvey have had disagreements with other comedians, and this specific instance was no exception. Even one internet user wrote, "I think real comedians are born with the talent to make people laugh and to be funny. It's not something that someone can teach you that can give you pointers. K can just be present and make you laugh. WO saying a word, now that's a comedian." Another one added, "I love Cat and I don't doubt his word one bit." However, Steve has never claimed to be a saint and has spoke on his past multiple times. Who he was in his past is not who he is today. Fact, he was an A-hat fact. He learned the hard way and consciously took the necessary actions to better himself. Just the same as many do and many more really should. The genesis of their feud can be traced back to a public challenge issued by Cat Williams. He boldly asserted that he could surpass Steve Harvey and claim the title of the King of Comedy during an upcoming New Year's Eve show where both comedians were headlining. This challenge set the stage for the ongoing conflict between them.
I was on the Steve Harvey show, and Steve Harvey, who is going to call in at 5:45 and get the record straight.
Reportedly, Jamie Foxx was also entangled in this conflict. At the time, Foxx, working as a radio host, played a clip of Cat Williams dissing Steve Harvey, likely intensifying the feud between the two comedians. Williams, anticipating their joint comedy gig, stated, "I want to apologize for what's going to happen, but the second that you get on stage, I need you to understand that that's your final time as the King of Comedy. Water seeks its own level. You can't stop it, Playboy. It is what it is, so I hope you're ready. I hope you got a team of writers. You're going to need about 6 or 7 of them." In response to the clip, Steve Harvey called into the radio show and expressed his bewilderment regarding the entire situation. The involvement of Jamie Foxx added another layer to the ongoing dispute between Cat Williams and Steve Harvey.
You know, I've always been on tour with some real man. I toured with the Kings. You know, I've been on stage with Sid, DL, and Bernie Mac at the same time.
On the anticipated night of the event, Cat Williams took center stage and didn't hold back, aiming punches at Steve Harvey's comedy reputation, while also playfully poking fun at his clothes and hair. Addressing the crowd, Williams likely delivered sharp and humorous remarks about Harvey during his performance, stating, "Please give it up for Steve Harvey. He's one of the best we've ever had, but he don't want no parts of this in no shape or form. I don't know why he came out here with all this money y'all spent on these expletive tickets and talked about a lady in the audience for 15 minutes, but won't talk about me the way I getting ready to talk about his expletive made expletive." Cat Williams' journey to fame and fortune wasn't handed to him on a silver platter. He had to build his comedic empire from the ground up, starting in Avondale, Cincinnati, through performing stand-up comedy in various venues across the country. From the lively streets of Oklahoma to the vibrant stages of Oakland, Cat fearlessly delivered his routines. His unique style was perfected through hard work and dedication.
And act like happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
Shifting our focus to Steve Harvey, he is widely recognized as a devoted family man who holds his loved ones in high regard. However, Cat Williams reportedly contends that Harvey is merely a charlatan, concealing his true self behind a carefully constructed facade for an extended period. According to Cat, opinions about Steve's comedic prowess vary significantly depending on the source, adding complexity to their relationship dynamics and influencing the public perception of Harvey's image.
You have been the king of comedy as long as we've had one. Matter of fact, the whole phrase, king of comedy, can be attributed that you get off stage.
Absolutely. Cat Williams has not only established a reputation for his comedic talents, but has also emerged as a significant whistleblower within Hollywood. His outspoken nature extends to addressing various issues and controversies within the entertainment industry, shedding light on matters that are often kept silent or overlooked.
Doing in the ATL, the nigga at least excuse himself, go to the bathroom or something.
According to Cat Williams, Steve Harvey's public reputation may not be universally positive. Depending on who you talk to, Harvey is either celebrated as one of the funniest individuals on the planet or seen as a celebrity with a less than stellar reputation. Williams has asserted that Harvey has some undisclosed aspects in his past, including rumors of mistreatment towards his staff. Persistent rumors have circulated about the renowned comedian and talk show host not treating his staff well. Additionally, after his talk show relocated to Los Angeles, Harvey allegedly issued a controversial memo to his new staff, outlining demands typically associated with tour writers. These allegations have added to the existing tension between the two comedians.
And I could not find a way to walk from the stage to my dressing room, to sit in my makeup chair, to walk from my dressing room to the stage.
In the leaked memo, Steve Harvey wrote, "My security team will stop everyone from standing at my door who has the intent to see or speak to me. I want all the ambushing to stop now. That includes TV staff. You must schedule an appointment. I have been taken advantage of by my lenient policy in the past. This ends now. No more. Do not approach me while I'm in the makeup chair unless I ask to speak with you directly. Either knock or use the doorbell." Steve Harvey defended himself by stating that the controversial memo was an attempt to secure more free time during his day. He explained that the memo was sent to address what he perceived as a too lenient open-door policy during his show's run in Chicago. Harvey reiterated this defense a few days later while discussing the leaked letter with Entertainment Tonight. "Look, man, I'm in my makeup chair. They walk in the room. I'm having lunch. They walk in. They don't knock," he continued. "I'm in the hallway. I'm getting ambushed by people with friends that come to the show and having me sign this and do this. I just said, wait a minute. And in hindsight, I probably should have handled it a little bit differently." Cat Williams seems to have legitimate reasons for his grievances against Steve Harvey. In November 2015, the Think Like a Man author faced a lawsuit for allegedly reneging on plans to lease a private jet. This occurred after over $400,000 worth of renovations had been initiated, reportedly at Harvey's request. The requested enhancements included custom carpet, a reconfiguration of the interior cabin from 16 seats to 14 seats, custom seat design, and new upper and lower cabin sidewalls, according to TMZ reports.
According to a private jet company, he did not pay the bill.
This is a story.
After they customized the hell out of the thing for him.
Cat Williams has also alleged that Steve Harvey, who starred as a high school music teacher on 1996's The Steve Harvey Show, lifted the premise of his show from comedian Mark Curry. Curry starred as teacher Mark Cooper on the sitcom Hangin' with Mr. Cooper, which debuted in 1992. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had, Williams said. Now Steve got a sitcom where he's the principal and he wears a suit. Williams also criticized Harvey's acting abilities, challenging Harvey's claim that he didn't want to pursue a film career. "You couldn't be a movie star," Williams said. "There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You have to have range." In a critical stance on fellow comics, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley during an appearance on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Williams aimed to address what he considered as untruths spread about him by lowbrow comedians on the show. He characterized Cedric, Harvey, and Smiley as a stating, "For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. All of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets, and this is the age of truth." Williams accused Cedric the Entertainer of stealing a joke from his comedy set in the late 90s, a joke he also performed on the BET program Comic View. In describing the situation, Williams stated, "This is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke. In 1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View." Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the original Kings of Comedy, and he's doing it verbatim. Initially, Williams had given Cedric a pass for using the joke, but his stance changed when Cedric denied taking from Williams' material. Williams remarked, "He thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know." Cedric the Entertainer responded to Williams in the comments section of an Instagram post featuring a clip from the Club Shay Shay podcast, dismissing Williams' allegation as revisionist history. Regardless of whatever Kat's opinion, my career can't be reduced to one joke Cat Williams claims is his, Cedric wrote Wednesday. I've been in over 40 movies, my specials and brand speak volumes for I Am, the people I have put on including Cat in the Hat, at the Gibson Amphitheater. So apparently this is how Steve has risen to stardom and fame, which may have helped him to destroy Lori's future. So just a few days back, one of the heavy hitters in the industry, Suge Knight, who was around during Diddy's rise to fame and fortune, dropped some bombs. He basically hinted that Diddy's got a team of people cleaning up his messes every time he screws up, and guess who he mentioned? Yep, Lori's dad, Steve Harvey. This former Death Row Records bigwig didn't just throw out Steve Harvey's name as possibly being Diddy's gopher, but he also kinda hinted at a paper trail linking Diddy's media cleanups back to Steve. Now, why would a successful celebrity host like Steve stoop to the level of cleaning up another guy's messes, especially when that same guy, who's pretty close to Steve's age, is dating his daughter? That's the million-dollar question.
What's up, boy? My man. Appreciate you, man.
According to some self-proclaimed detectives on social media, it looks like Steve might be deep in Diddy's pocket, and not in a good way. Here's the thing, Harvey's a powerhouse like no other in the industry, and you'd think that'd be enough to keep him from having to bow down to other entertainers. But it seems Diddy might be the exception to that rule. Recent reports suggest that Steve might be taking orders from the bad boy CEO, to the point where even his own family members aren't off limits. Yeah, you heard that right. These claims aren't just about Steve. They're also tied to his daughter. Over the years, there have been whispers that Steve Harvey might have been doing Diddy's dirty work.
I'm very much in a space right now where I'm not doing anything that's going to compromise my peace and happiness.
But it looks like those tales were more than just claims. Recently, amid the Tupac saga, Diddy's longtime rival Suge Knight dropped some bombshells, including revelations about Steve Harvey. Knight challenged the narrative of love that the celebrity host claimed to have for the iconic rapper, stirring up some serious controversy. Knight painted a picture of Harvey not just casually hanging out with Diddy, but turning it into a side hustle. He also suggested that Harvey was protecting someone widely suspected to be linked to the demise of the All Eyes on Me artist, adding another layer to the already intense drama.
If you love Pac so much, how you with the everybody say got something to do with the first get down that happened to Pac in New York, then the second one. Since you want to bring up the sorcerer.
Adding to the twisted narrative, Knight exposed Harvey for disrespecting Tupac's memory by dismissing the very issue that influenced not only Tupac's life, but also the lives of many others, the notorious East Coast-West Coast beef. While others lost their lives to the violence of the beef at the time, including Biggie Smalls, Steve seems to have convinced the world that Diddy's hands were squeaky clean of it all. But it seems cleaning up messes was just the start of Steve's job for the business mogul. He might have been required to do a lot more, case in point, offering up his own daughter to Diddy. What's even more shocking is that Lori wasn't even with Diddy for the reasons the world believed a couple of months ago. The model and entrepreneur recently spoke to E! News, revealing that she often hears claims that she's in a relationship with someone whom she hasn't even met in person.
Like, I've seen stories about me being like fully in love with somebody and we have like this whole relationship, and I'll see the guy and I'm like, I've actually never even met him before.
No. Lori, who was spotted with the bad boy honcho on a few occasions, insisted that she never dated the musician. A revelation that has now left fans wondering if that was indeed a confirmation that Diddy may not be who we all thought he was, which can be judged through his latest lawsuits. Following Cassie's allegations of R&A against Diddy, speculations began circulating within the realm of fans and industry chatter. Rumors suggest that several women are poised to step forward, ready to testify against Diddy if Cassie pursued legal action. This scenario bears resemblance to high-profile cases involving figures like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and Harvey Weinstein, where a cascade of testimonies played a pivotal role in the legal proceedings. Amid the serious allegations in the substantial lawsuit, it contends that Combs utilized his influential network to ensnare Cassie in a violent and controlling relationship.
Or on her through their time together. Cassie claims that Diddy would regularly push and make her carry firearms around in her purse while out in public.
Having dated Combs for over a decade, Cassie alleges multiple instances of including vicious beatings and throughout their relationship. The New York Times initially reported on these disturbing allegations, revealing a harrowing narrative of control over every aspect of Cassie's life. The lawsuit paints a grim picture of a cycle of violence and trauma that persisted until the relationship finally concluded in 2018. She said in a statement to the Times that after years in silence and darkness, she was finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and in their relationships. A spokesperson for Combs, known by various names such as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, and Love, vehemently refuted the accusations, deeming them offensive and outrageous. The representative asserted that these claims surfaced following Ventura's purported demand for $30 million from the mogul.
And Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, they're saying tonight that the two have settled a lawsuit she filed against the mogul yesterday in Manhattan federal court.
The statement further stated, Miss Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. Ventura's legal representative informed the New York Times that she had been offered 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit, an offer she reportedly declined. The disturbing lawsuit unveils a troubling narrative of the relationship, depicting a scenario where Combs seized control over both the personal and professional aspects of Cassie's life. The allegations include years of brutal beatings, coerced encounters, and a pervasive of violence.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long of violence and baby.
Combs, a 3-time Grammy winner, stands at the helm of a vast business empire that spans various industries, from fashion to music. Since founding Bad Boy Records in 1993, he has played a pivotal role in the hip-hop scene, collaborating closely with iconic musicians such as the Notorious Big, Mary J. Blige, and Lil' Kim. According to the lawsuit, Combs aggressively pursued Ventura, who at the age of 19 signed with Bad Boy and swiftly rose to fame. The legal document asserts that Combs forcibly kissed her at a gathering for her 21st birthday, immediately leveraging his power and influence.
She also says that he got physical with her and forced her to be intimate with men of the night. You know how we call women of the night?
Citing Combs' position as the founder of Bad Boy Records, the lawsuit claims that Ventura felt compelled to accede to his advances and offers of D to avoid jeopardizing her career. It describes how he enticed her into an ostentatious, fast-paced, and D-fueled lifestyle. Once their relationship began, Combs reportedly treated Ventura to extravagant vacations, financed apartments for her in both New York and Los Angeles, and adorned her with designer clothing while also supplying her with D. The lawsuit contends that this lifestyle was carefully crafted to maintain her complacency and compliance. However, as the relationship progressed, Combs allegedly became controlling and with instances of physical violence such as The lawsuit further claims that he coerced her into holding his in her purse on multiple occasions. The legal document portrays Combs as prone to uncontrollable rage, alleging that he compelled Ventura to participate in S-acts with male S-workers, capturing these encounters through photography and filming. The suit suggests that she was administered D before and during these incidents, enabling her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. Additionally, the lawsuit contends that Ventura was a victim of ST, as she was allegedly compelled to engage in forced S-acts in multiple cities. In 2015, the lawsuit claims that Combs subjected Ventura to such a severe beating that when his security guard and assistant witnessed her with 2 black eyes, a burst and bruised lip, and a huge welt on her forehead, they were moved to tears. Allegedly, she was consistently compelled to seclude herself in hotels until her bruises healed, according to Ventura's allegations.
Says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was only 19 years old, he began a pattern of control and that included.
Elsewhere in the filing, Cassie alleged that Diddy forced her to take part in Freak Off, an arrangement in which she had no choice but to plan and engage in S-acts with male S-workers while he masturbated. The encounters continued for years in high-end hotels across the country and sometimes occurred as often as once a week, the lawsuit read. Diddy took photos and filmed the encounters. Cassie would delete videos shot on her phone to no avail. Once, she was forced to watch footage on a flight that she thought she had gotten rid of.
So you feel like Diddy was having with the male?
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room, right?
You're right.
It's a freak-off section.
Recent online investigations have uncovered past interviews shedding light on Diddy's relationship, including one with his ex, Gina Huyn. In a 2019 interview with Tasha K, Huyn accused Diddy of various forms of detailing an alleged incident. Huyn further claimed that when she became pregnant with Diddy's child, he attempted to pay her to terminate the pregnancy. She told Tasha K that he was mentally, emotionally, and physically He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one, she's a good one. She also said that everyone in Combs' circle allowed the to occur. A video clip has surfaced featuring Gina Huyn, the ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, detailing allegations of physical and mental by the renowned musician.
He was a
he was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically me.
And she was the one who exposed that another person was also suffering from the same thing, and she was Lori.
I saw a picture of him and Lori, like the same exact pose.
What do you mean?
I mean, the same exact pose that he took with me.
Okay.
That's not it. It is also rumored that Lori has also dated his sons too. That's totally weird. And this revelation would not have come if Cassie did not file a lawsuit. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.